Okay, we'd like to call the regular council meeting of December 9, 2013 to order. Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Allen.
Here.
Dixon.
Here.
Givens.
Here.
Hannon.
Present.
Harrison.
Present.
McLean.
Here.
Maury.
Here.
O'Brien.
Present.
Pape. 8 present.
8 members present. This time can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, a chair announcements. An executive session of council was conducted tonight before we came out, December 9, 2013, for litigation and personnel issues. At this time, we turn to the reports to the officials and the library director's report. Okay, hearing none, we'll go to Chief Mackey and the police chief's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mowry. Good evening, everyone. A few announcements tonight. The next Crime Watch meeting, the December meeting, will be on Tuesday, December 17th, 6:30 at the Community Center. As I mentioned last month, we have a guest speaker this month, Mr. David Geely. He's with the United States Postal Inspector's Office, and he's going to be talking about mail fraud. There's going to be a little social event after the meeting with light refreshments, so everyone is invited to attend. The police department continues to accept applications for the Citizens Police Academy. We have 30-some applicants right now. We will accept up to 50. So if you are interested, we ask you to please sign up as soon as possible. If you have any questions concerning the program or to talk about the application process, please give Officer Tom Rigatti a call. He can be reached at 412-831-6800, extension 104. This year's food drive continues until Wednesday, December 18th. On that morning, police officers and some of the folks at Public Works, we will go around to all the collection points throughout the borough and pick up food, bring it over to the fire hall, and at that point all our volunteers will put the boxes together for our donations. I would like to mention and thank Giant Eagle on Route 88, Shop and Save on Route 88, and Giant Eagle Market District. This past Saturday, police officers, paramedics, and firemen, all from Bethel Park, went to the 3 stores that I just spoke of and collected both monetary and food donations. It was an extremely successful event, contributed greatly to the success of this year's food drive. And again, just like to thank our local partners. And finally, the Adopt a Family program. So far, we're looking at hopefully assisting 37-plus families here in Bethel Park. The Adopt a Family is a program started a few years ago where we take donations for families that really need some help, particularly families with kids that aren't going to be able to provide Christmas gifts for their children. And we actually have a couple of options. Some people like to donate money to the program. We put that all in one big pot and distribute it. Also, we actually have a particular family who will adopt another family. And generally speaking, it's anonymous. The family in need usually will submit a wish list for their children or for their spouses for Christmas. And we will give that to one of our adopt-a families. They go out and they do the shopping. And once again, they will bring those items to the fire department where we prepare everything. And then the families who actually adopt somebody, they leave. And then an hour or so later, we have the families come in that needed the help. And they pick up their gifts. And, you know, it's really been an unbelievable program over the years. And it's good that we do it, and it's good that we can help people. But in a way, it's kind of sad, too, to see so many of our neighbors and friends in need. So once again, if you're interested, once again, you can contact Officer Rigatti. He's our crime prevention officer, and he runs all our programs here. 412-831-6800, extension 104. And that is my report.
Thank you very much, Chief. At this time, we turn to the mayor's report. Mayor Morton. The fire department has their elections this evening, and will receive an updated report in January.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. I have a couple items tonight and a couple of people we want to recognize, starting out with our monthly birthday list of all our seniors. These are the folks who are 90 years old or older, and these are the ones that were born in December, and so this is a month we'll recognize it. Howard Kostler is 92. We wish him a happy birthday. And Clara Pagavis is 94. Happy birthday. Ella Bauer is 96. And we have two that are turning 100 this month, Ethel Manuel and Teresa Bombara. And I think both of these ladies were at our luncheon in October. Mildred Delaney will be 101 this month, and we wish her a happy birthday. So that's our birthday list. I don't know why there's so many girls that were born in December. There was no men. One. I'd like to recognize Marine Corps League is here tonight. They came to sing us the Marine Corps hymn. No, not we're not going to do that. You're up, Bullet. Get up here. And David Cable, would you come up here, please?
Yeah. Oh, you guys want to come up?
Everybody,
Do you rest your...
Get your squad up here. The Commandant has a proclamation type thing he wants to talk to David about, and so we'll just jump right into that.
Mr. Mooring, members of council, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bob Daly. I'm Commandant of the South Hills Detachment of the number 726 of Marine Corps League, Incorporated. I'm here tonight on behalf of my detachment to present a Detachment Distinguished Service Award to Dave Cable of BPTV 7 in recognition of his numerous years in supporting Detachment 726 activities, especially and most recently our Marine Corps Birthday Ball celebration. Dave, on behalf of Detachment 726, I'd like to present this to you, sir. He was not feeling well when he did the ball, and this was on a Saturday night, and he worked diligently. He was great. Thank you again, sir.
Yeah, do you have something to say, Dave?
Thank you.
Wish you wouldn't talk so long. Our newly elected county council person is Susan Means, and Susan is sitting back there, and I'd like her to come up if she would, and so everybody will see who you are, Sue, and know why you're here. Hope we didn't catch you too unawares. You ready to go to work?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about it.
I was sworn in on the 1st of December, and I already attended my first county council meeting and was historically famous for bad behavior. There was yelling and screaming, and more promised next week. So I'm looking forward to working with the Bethel Park Council and all the elected officials to see what I can do to make Bethel Park and the District 5 a better place. And I'm really excited and honored that the people of Bethel Park have chosen me to represent them. But I'm actually here tonight to give my first proclamation. All right. And,
what can I hold for you to get it out here?
well, you can hold that while I read my... I have a tiny speech because the proclamation is 2 pages long. They're usually only 1 page, but the mayor of Bethel Park has many accomplishments.
Oh.
So,
We would never do that to you.
As a newly elected to Allegheny County Council, it is my great honor to give my first proclamation to the mayor of Bethel Park. For 16 years of public service, you are an inspiration to us all. A man of faith living out your faith in the service of others. You are a kind man and a fatherly figure. And as a parent, I know that often our children drive us to our knees. And we know that we have driven you to your knees. And we are so grateful for your service and your prayers for us. And we wish you the best, and we send our prayers to you in your next endeavors. And we wish you great success. Now let me read this. I don't know how you're going to frame it, 2 pages long, but I'm excited. Two frames. There you go. Allegheny County Council proclamation. Whereas Allegheny County is blessed with individuals dedicated to enhancing the quality of life in our neighborhood and the community as a whole, individuals such as Mr. Clifford Morton, who has placed his stamp of his character and hard work throughout the community, as both a public servant and a strong leader. Whereas Mr. Morton is retiring from the municipality of Bethel Park after serving 4 terms as mayor, 16 years, the longest serving mayor of Bethel Park. And whereas a retired school teacher, Mr. Morton retired from the U.S. Steel in 1998 after working in sales and service department for 18 years. He has been married to his wife, Joan, for 57 years. Is that right? That's right. All right. And the couple has 2 sons and 7 grandchildren? Yes. Wow. All right. Whereas during a tenure that included many improvements and additions to the community, Mayor Morton was instrumental in establishing many programs designed to improve the quality of life and to involve the residents. Whereas Mayor Morton was responsible for initiating the 90-plus club, where he publicly recognizes the residents aged 90 or older, you just did that, who celebrated birthdays that month, sending them a birthday card every year. And each October, he hosts a luncheon for all of the club members. Whereas Mayor Morton actively supported local students' academic and athletic successes and recognizes those achievements during the monthly council meetings. And whereas, we're almost done with 1 page. Whereas, also among the programs Mayor Morton initiated is the Trolley Beautification Municipal Parks Planning Program, in which the volunteers tend to beautiful gardens along Brightwood Road and throughout the municipal parks. He also has developed the Holiday and Athletic Banners campaign, holiday lighting display contest, and under his leadership, the community center and the gymnasium were constructed and Millennium Park was developed. Wow. Whereas Mayor Morton is a strong supporter of the arts, he implemented the Tower Concert Series, a series of free outdoor summer concerts, the Heritage Players Theater Group, and he is one of the founding members of the Bethel Park Community Foundation. And whereas Cliff has been active in the Community Advisory Committee for Drug-Free Schools, the Bethel Park Police Foundation, and the District Justice Alternate Penalty Program, just to name a few. Whereas Mr. Morton is a veteran, having served in the Marine Corps during the Korean War, a man of faith, he currently serves as a chaplain with the Marine Corps League South Hills Detachment 726 and is active in his church. Whereas Mr. Morton is known as the smiling face of Bethel Park because of his extraordinary and humble efforts towards creating a great place to live in and work in and visit. Now therefore be it resolved that the Allegheny County Council, on behalf of the citizens of Allegheny County, thereby recognizes the Honorable Cliff Morton upon the occasion of his retirement from the municipality of Bethel Park. We thank him for his genuine and unwavering public service, charitable achievement, and for his service to our country. Forevermore, we join his family, we join his family and friends in celebrating this momentous occasion, and we wish Mr. Morton all the best in his future endeavors. Sponsored by County Council Member Sue Means, presented on this, the 9th day of December, the year of our Lord, 2013. Congratulations.
Don't go yet.
Don't go
That man with the camera,
Oh,
we
okay.
should see your smiling face.
Oh, and you're supposed to like hold.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. The council members thought that it would be more meaningful if we did this in front of them rather than downtown.
Oh, good, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dave,
Many of these things that were read here today were a little embellished. I certainly didn't know these things or do these things all by myself. There's a wonderful council behind me, and administrators, and borough workers, and just everybody, and a lot of people helped with all these projects that you named, and so I'll just take my little piece of the blessings and go from there.
That's right in there, you're humble.
Might be the only part that's not true. Thank you, Sue.
Mayor.
Hold on,
Mayor.
What's going on?
Come on up here.
Oh, my.
This is his Christmas gift. We have to be nice tonight. I just have a little plaque, and as Cliff knows, we like little surprises. So I just have a plaque to commemorate Cliff's service as Mayor of Bethel Park. I will read it and then maybe make a few comments. To commemorate Clifford A. Morton, who served as the Mayor of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania for 4 terms, January of 1998 through December of 2013. In recognition for your leadership, fairness, humility, and tireless work for the municipality of Bethel Park, its local officials, employees, volunteers, businesses, students, and residents. In appreciation for your outstanding service and dedication, we thank you on this 9th day of December 2013, presented by the Bethel Park Municipal Council.
Thank you.
Cliff? I just want to say, Cliff, on behalf of council, all the citizens of Bethel Park, we just want to say thank you. I think as you came on council, as some of you remember, was a little bit turbulence, and our meetings were a little more well-attended, and a lot more people had opinions, which was good. But Cliff was a really part of the stabilizing force in Bethel Park. A lot of the things that Sue talked about and the accomplishments, Cliff was a big part of. And I can tell you from a personal perspective that Cliff and I didn't always agree, but we would have our occasional meetings and have a professional discussion, and we're willing to work together and sometimes agree to disagree and move on. But on behalf of everybody here and all the residents of the community, we just want to say thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And you'll always be remembered as the mayor.
Well, thank you for that.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's appropriate if anyone wants to speak. I certainly do. I've had the honor for the last 16 years to sit next to this man in committee, not necessarily here at the council meetings, but when we have our committee meetings. It really was an honor to sit next to him. He's a man of God. He's very funny. He's very humorous. He's an honest man. He's a great husband, a fantastic father, an outstanding mayor, and I guess I could just call him a friend. He served his country and his community with just great honor, and to get to know himself and his lovely wife, Joan, they just don't talk, they walk the walk. even in our own lives. If we've ever needed them, they've always been there for us. But, I am known for a lot of years as a practical joker. And I can tell you many stories of our incidents, but one that happened recently is that at the Rob White Memorial Golf outing, somebody changed the sign on the front of my golf vehicle to Mary O'Brien, and nobody would own up to it. So after I got a tremendous ribbing that day and at council, and comments like, okay, Mary, hit the ball. It's your turn, Mary. Don't be a Mary when you putt. I mean, it was really, I really enjoyed it. And it got all quiet, and we were ready to come out here to meet, and Cliff looks over and says, okay, Mary, it's time to get up and go. Timing is everything. Mr. Mayor, you are my good friend, and it's been a joy to serve with you for this 16 years, and I wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
May I also say, Mr. President?
Mr. Spagnol.
As a municipal manager, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to say it's been a pleasure and an honor, not only for myself to work with you for all these years, but I think I know my staff feels the same way. The number of projects that you put together for this community that enrich this community, you work with staff who are always wonderful to work with, a pleasure to work with, easy, understanding in all ways, and we certainly appreciate everything you've done for us, and we're going to miss you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President,
Mr. Dixon.
since everybody's speaking up here, after 57 years of marriage, maybe it's the lovely and gracious Mrs. Morton that should get the plaque. But I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you open any dictionary and look up the word mayor, you'll see a picture of Mr. Morton. He's the best we ever had.
Thank you.
It's been my pleasure, Cliff.
Thank you very much.
I go next.
I think most of our surprises are done. I'll always leave that door open just in case.
Okay.
At this time, we turn to the approval of the minutes in Mr. Allen.
I move that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of November 11th, 2013.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the regular council meeting minutes of November 11, 2013. Is there any discussion from council? Mr. Spagner, would you please call the roll?
Dixon?
Yes?
Gibbons? Yes. Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Mowry?
Yes.
O'Brien? Not here. Allen?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. At this time, I'd like to turn to approval of the bills and payrolls. Mr. Allen.
I move that we approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality per bill list number 120913 in the amount of $812,829.84.
There is a motion and a second that we approve bills and payrolls for the municipality per bill list number 120913 in the amount of $812,829.84. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagner, would you please call the roll?
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Mowry?
Yes.
Allen?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. At this time, I'd like to turn to the resident comment section for non-agenda items. If anybody would like to come up and speak, if you could state your name and address for the record, then we have a 3-minute limit. At the end of 2 minutes, the manager will signify.
You know, you shrink after you hit 59, but I'll stand tall. Anyway, Anita Podekar, Mapleview Drive. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I know health and safety is very important to all of you council members, and it's very important to all of us residents. Oh, I hear.
Full service.
Thank you. Does shrink that much? Wow. Anyway, health and safety is very important, and I don't think we have the best health and safety with the deer, D-E-E-R, not D-E-A-R, in the borough of Bethel Park. It used to be fun at one time if you saw one deer. Council members, we have herds. I counted 8 babies the other day. Last week, they just, you know what, our shrubs are gone. It's unsafe to go out and hang clothes out on the line, which, yes, I still do. And if we had children, they wouldn't be able to play baseball in the backyard. So what are we going to do about it? It's getting worse and worse. and we're doing nothing. Actually, the bow and arrow, wherever it's done, doesn't even hit the population. Think about what it'll be in 10 years. I mean, we have 8 or 9, and it's not only us, a lot of neighbors, people that we know. So I did call Mount Lebanon, and I called Upper St. Clair, and they're getting rid of the problem. It costs $30,000 or something, but you know, if someone really gets hurt, our cars have been hit. What are we waiting for? And they're big. You have pets, they can't go out in the yard. If you have children, because they leave there, they're not just little, well, you know what I'm talking about. It's a mess. What do we do with that? So I think it's very important for our health and safety, and for all of yours too, to do something about the deer. We're animal lovers, but these are not to be loved. So is there any comment or questions? Or
No, we have been doing a controlled hunt. I think this year we tried to expand, and maybe I can ask the chief. I think there is a late archery hunt which we're having, maybe to update us at our January meeting, and then we can talk about, you know, what we could do moving forward. I know a number of other communities are trying to address it, similar to what we are. It costs a lot of money. There's many requirements and things you need to do, but we'll be back in touch and we'll recap what we've done this year.
but the bow and arrow is done where?
It's primarily in the South Park or Bethel Park portion of South Park. We've tried to expand it following the state game laws into other parcels throughout the community, but we'll recap that for you next month.
Oh, so you will look into it. See, they're not in the park. You know that. We drive through South Park. We don't see them, but I'll tell you, they come right up. Our shrubberies are gone. We got a lot of shrubs. They're hungry, and they shouldn't be. I mean, it's not a South Park problem. It's a residential problem. Okay, good luck. Thank you for your time.
Okay, are there any other residents have any other comments? Hearing none, can we turn to planning and zoning and Mr. Dixon? And we have no residents signed up to speak.
We have 2 items on the agenda tonight, Mr. President. First item is Brush Run Watershed Amendment to Agreement for Sewage Conveyance. I move that we approve the amendment to the agreement for sewage conveyance in accordance with the municipal planner's correspondence dated November 25, 2013.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the amendment to the agreement for the sewage conveyance in accordance with municipal planner's correspondence dated November 25th, 2013. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison? Excuse me. McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
Allen?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons?
Yes.
7-0.
Motion passes 7-0, Mr. Dixon.
Second item is application number 2013-0659, Hillcrest Christian Academy Edition, Major Land Development, 2500 Bethel Church Road, Hillcrest Christian Academy applicant. I move that we approve application 2013-0659, Hillcrest Christian Academy Edition, Major Land Development, 2500 Bethel Church Road, in accordance with the municipal planner's correspondence dated November 26, 2013.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve application 2013-0659, Hillcrest Christian Academy Edition, Major Land Development, 2500 Bethel Church Road, in accordance with municipal planners' correspondence dated November 26, 2013. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien? Not here. Allen?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
7-0.
Motion passes 7-0, Mr. Dixon.
That is all I have under planning and zoning tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to health, safety, and welfare, and Mr. McLean?
Thank you, Mr. President. There are no agenda items this evening under health, safety, and welfare.
Do we have any additional items?
Mr. President, I have 2.
Mr. McLean.
First, I just wanted to mention that in the ongoing Bethel Park Recreation Department Town Hall Speaker Series, Dr. Cyril Wecht will be the feature speaker on Thursday, January 23rd at 7 p.m. at the Community Center. We're very glad to have Dr. Wecht come and appear. Admission is free at the community center that evening. But we note that seating is limited. We're expecting a rather large crowd, given Dr. Weck's well-known reputation and entertaining, and that he's an entertaining speaker. So plan to be there early. The second item I wanted to mention is just that in conjunction with our recognition of Mayor Morton and his service to the community, there's a very nice retrospective interview with the mayor that you can watch by going to the Bethel Park website and clicking on a link there that'll take you to the interview. It's a very nice interview that the mayor gives with his reflections on his 16 years of serving as a mayor, and it's very worthwhile, and it's a nice reflection on the mayor himself. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to Public Works and Maintenance and Ms. Gibbons?
There are no agenda items under Public Work and Maintenance.
Thank you very much. Are there any additional items?
Yes, I do have one item. Many of you know that we are changing our garbage collection. And I wanted to have Mike explain that, give us a little update on that.
Yes, ma'am. Every 5 years, communities in the South Hills generally put out garbage and recycling services, and in 2013, this was the year that those services were once again bid out, and Republic Services, Inc. was awarded that contract to provide us those services. And so Republic will replace our current waste hauler, that is Waste Management, Inc., as of January 1, 2014. Now, since they were awarded that, staff and Republic have been working together to try to make this transition seamless. And the bottom line is, you're not going to see a change in your services, and that is the routes are going to be maintained the same. You have your garbage and your recycling picked up on the same day. You still have to get the garbage out by the same time in the morning. And when we have leaf recycling pickups in the fall, which we traditionally do in October and November, that'll occur at the same time every year. So there won't really be any changes. The big change you'll see is the first week of January. You won't see green trucks anymore. You'll see Republic's red and or blue trucks. So just be aware, please be aware of that. If there is one change, and I think it's a very good improvement, that this year we are going to add yard waste pickups starting in April, running through the end of September. And you can place your yard waste in the traditional brown paper bags on the third Saturday of every month, and they will be picked up. Now, very shortly, residents should receive a letter, our annual municipal waste management letter, and it describes some of the details, such as what you can put out, what you shouldn't put out for recycling and garbage collection, as well as numbers to call if you have a complaint or an issue. And the other thing that's new that Republic is providing us this year is a website address so that you can call and or get on your computer and if you have an issue. So that's basically what we have this year, Ms. Gibbons.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any additional items?
No additional items.
Thank you very much. Can we turn to General Policy and Finance? And Mr. Hannon, we have no residents signed up to speak.
All right, Mr. President, the first item is the 2014 regular council meeting dates. I move that we approve the following year 2014 regular council meeting dates with a starting time of 7:30 p.m. January 13th, February 10th, March 10th, April 14th, May 12th, June 9th, July 14th, August 11th, September 8th, October 13th, November 10th, and December 8th.
Second.
There's a motion and second that we approve the regular following year 2014 regular council meeting dates with the starting time of 7:30 p.m. January 13th, February 10th, March 10th, April 14th, May 12th, June 9th, July 14th, August 11th, September 8th, October 13th, November 10th, and December 8th. Any discussion of this item?
Mr. Barr.
Mr. Harrison.
We may tell the public that a good memory aid is that that's always the second Monday in the month. Second Monday.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Harrison. The meeting dates haven't changed, so as Mr. Harrison said, the second Monday of the month. Any other discussion? Mr. Spagnol, would you please call the roll?
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
Allen?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Givens?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
7-0.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Hannon.
The next item is an ordinance for the year 2014 administrative salaries. I move that we approve the ordinance providing 2014 salaries for the Bethel Park management, supervisory, and other confidential employees.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the regular ordinance providing 2014 salaries for the Bethel Park management, supervisory, and other confidential employees. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagnol, would you please call the roll?
Maury?
Yes.
Allen?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Givens?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
7-0.
Motion passes 7-0.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hannon.
Next item is a ordinance for the separation of bids. I move that we approve the ordinance of the municipality of Bethel Park amending Article 1 of Chapter 4 of the Code of the Municipality of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, by providing the municipality with the option to either seek separate bids for plumbing, heating, ventilation, and electrical work, or to solicit bids for a single prime contractor for the erection, construction, and alteration of public buildings.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the ordinance of the municipality of Bethel Park, amending Article 1, Chapter 4 of the Code of the Municipality of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, by providing the municipality with the option to either seek separate bids for plumbing, heating, ventilation, electrical work, or solicit bids from a single prime contractor for the erection, construction, and alteration of public buildings. Any discussion of this item?
Mr. Maury?
Mr. Harrison.
Could we get someone to tell the public what motivated this motion?
Yes, Mr. Harrison. There is a law called the Separations Act. It's a state law that requires whenever a municipality builds a building, it has to do separate bidding for plumbing, heating, ventilation, and electrical work in addition to the general contract. Often, the bidding of all those items together is more efficient, is more economical on certain kinds of projects. The borough code has been amended to allow all the boroughs of the Commonwealth to make a decision on whether they want to do those separately or whether it makes more sense to do them together. And all this would do is amend the Bethel Park Code of Ordinances as a home rule community to just give this council the same power to make that determination, that same discretion as it would have had if it had been a borough. That's all. So it's
The motivation came from the fire company wanting to build a new building. Is that correct?
Well, that's one of the issues that was raised by the architect, that it might be more efficient to do a particular project like that with just one general contractor. But it wasn't the sole reason. It's really an authority that you should have generally, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other discussion? Mr. Spagnol, would you please call the roll?
Allen?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Givens?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes. Motion passes 7-0. Before we go to item D and E, I'd just like to notify council that I just received notice that we're going to be voting on two issues regarding the contract with the fire department and the new fire station, and the membership of the fire department has approved the contract that we're going to be voting on tonight. So at this time, I'd like to turn to Mr. Hannon.
Next item is an ordinance for the purchase of fire company property. I move that we approve the ordinance authorizing the conveyance of 7 parcels of real property from the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company to the municipality of Bethel Park.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the ordinance authorizing the conveyance of 7 parcels of real property from the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company to the municipality of Bethel Park. I just want to go into, if I could, real quick, the two next items on here are about something we've been talking about for the last probably 15 months at our regular meetings. Without going into any great detail, as everybody knows, for the last 3 or 4 years, there's been a subcommittee of council meeting with the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Department to kind of come up with a plan on where we could be in 5 and 10 years from now. We've identified a number of areas. They've dropped the age requirement. The membership's up in probably the last 2 years by 15 or 16 people. But the next biggest item was the referendum question this past May. And I guess first off, I'd like to thank the residents of Bethel Park that overwhelmingly passed the 0.34 mil dedicated tax to support the operations of the fire department. A lot of the decisions we're voting on tonight were really decided last year prior to going to the referendum question. In summary, the fire department is going to transfer ownership of all their properties. That's this motion that we're going to be voting on first, to the municipality. The 0.34 mil dedicated tax will be collected by the municipality. There's a separate fund in the budget we adopted. The municipality will own and act as the landlord, so to speak, of the existing fire station, as well as building a new fire station. That'll probably be coming up within the next few months as the plans are drawing to a close. But this is a combination of a lot of work. It's, like I said, to thank the residents, to thank the Bethel Park volunteer firemen for the work they do. And basically this will set, hopefully, Bethel Park up with a fire department that can worry about the one thing they do best, is fighting fires. The municipality will own and operate the buildings. This is the second item E we're voting on tonight, is what the agreement's going to be, and it really details who's going to do what, who's going to control what. All the money will be collected, as I said earlier, by the municipality and spent by the municipality. A month or so ago, we did a bond issue. So all the expenses and everything will be paid, the utilities, everything will be paid for the operations from this dedicated tax. So the first ordinance is to transfer property ownership, and the second one is the actual agreement.
Thank you, Ms. Meyer. Any other comments? Mr. Spagna, please call the roll.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Hannon.
The next item is an agreement between the municipality of Bethel Park and the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company. Move that we approve the agreement between the municipality of Bethel Park and the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company as related to the construction of new fire station and other related issues.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the agreement between the municipality of Bethel Park and the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company as related to the construction of the new fire station and other related issues. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
7-0.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. Hannon.
The next item is a motion to accept the resignation of Councilman Jack Allen. I move that we accept the resignation of Councilman Jack Allen, dated December 9th, 2013, effective January 5th, 2014.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. There's a motion and a second that we accept the resignation of Councilman Jack Allen on 12/9/13, effective January 5th, 2014. We had a little discussion tonight before we came to the floor. What would happen if Mr. Allen, who was elected mayor, this was turned down? What would happen to the community? I think we decided that Cliff could stay on, if he wouldn't mind. Having said that, is there any discussion from council?
Mr. Meyer.
Mr. Allen.
It wouldn't have been a unanimous vote because I definitely would have voted yes. I just wanted to take a minute to reflect on the past 16 years. I've been on this council for 16 years. We've gone through a lot of good things. We've done a lot. Building the community center, Millennium Park, the Veterans Memorial. But on the other hand, we've also, rolled up our sleeves, and I know particularly on my street, probably about 7-8 years ago, we had a microburst, and trees were uprooted, and we were down there with Public Works, myself, helping the people get back on their feet. Numerous times we had flooding, so you do take the good with the bad. I enjoy working certainly with the whole council, and most of them have been around for a while, half of them longer than me, but a couple newer. And Cliff Morton, who's probably the best mayor that Bethel Park has ever had, and I know, and this is just not my opinion because people tell me all the time, you have big shoes to fill, but I'm going to do the best I can and certainly make Cliff proud. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Allen. Are there any other discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
Allen.
Absolutely, yes.
7-0.
Motion passes 7-0. Is there any other discussion? Any additional items, Mr. Hannan?
No additional items under General Policy and Finance, Mr. President.
Just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season.
Move we adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourning. Good night, everyone.